Hey everyone, welcome back to White Pine Homestead. Today we are going to talk about a thing I bought to start transferring our bulk honey into smaller jars that work for us. I haven't used it yet, so we're going to check this out together. So hold on and we'll get right to it. Hey everyone, it's Helen, and if you don't know anything about our channel, we are working very hard to become more self-sufficient, build up our homestead, and do it in a frugal way. We want to be good stewards of the money we are blessed with and use it in a way that works well for our family, and we really enjoy helping others, so it's a combination for us. I bought a bunch of bulk honey over this last summer, and they came in big buckets, which was great. It was a really good price. I got raw organic honey that way, and that is lovely. And you're gonna say, why in the world would you buy honey that way? Well, we use honey, a lot of honey. It's a staple in our home, is the main reason. Second is I would like to start making mead. I made a go of it earlier last year, and it was actually going really well. But I made a huge mistake by not sterilizing my jars properly, and I lost those batches, and I have not gotten around to messing with it again because life has been busy. So we are going to, I'd like to get back into that, but I have these buckets of honey, and I'm like, how in the world am I supposed to transfer these into smaller containers, or what am I gonna do? And I thought, I guess I could ladle it and use a funnel, and I thought, what a huge mess that's going to be. And so I went online and I started looking at options and for honey buckets. My husband hates the name of that because in his line of work, honey buckets mean outhouses. But anyways, in our house, it actually means honey. So he said, can we call it something different? And I was like, I don't really know what else to call it. Anyways, sorry, little side note there. So I bought this, it's a 6-gallon bucket, and it has a dispenser on the bottom. And I saw one of these at our local co-op. It's basically what they use as well, except for they have a ball valve on theirs. I'm not going to be using mine every day, right? They sell honey in bulk regularly, so they use theirs regularly, and they need that ball valve, I think, would last a bit longer. I'm going to be using it simply, transfer them all to my quart-size mason jars, putting them on my shelf and working through them. I have no idea if this one is going to work well, but all the other ones I looked at out there cost a fortune, and this one was only $26. So I'm hoping it was still a good investment and not a waste of $26 and doesn't work, but I haven't tried it. So you and I are going to find out today. So let's go over and try and see if it works. Okie doke. Okay, so here's the unit. It's obviously pretty simple. It's, like I said, I think I said a 6-gallon pail. So not all of our honey is in there. We have a little bit more to add. And Nick is a little nervous about it. So I've got a bowl underneath here just in case I'm not able to catch the honey as I'm switching jars. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and see how this works. Okay, so like I said, this is the first time that I have done this, so let's just go ahead and see how it works. I'm going to try and fill a couple with you guys on the camera right now, and then I'll shut it off and see what it's like as I finish it and give you a last report at the end of whether I felt we made a good investment or a bad investment. Here we go. Okay, so we're just going to loosen that up a bit. Let that out. Okay. So far, so good. It's really the switching of the jars in the middle is what I'm most concerned about. Oh, that's beautiful, honey. I just don't want to, make a giant mess on my floor. But if it's a unit that we're literally using like once a year to switch everything over, you know, $26 is well worth it. If you're a co-op, like I was saying earlier, that is, you know, going through and having people come in constantly, then maybe this unit would not work. Like I said, Nick was a little concerned with it when we started. But she's flowing fine. And of course, I'm going to end up with, residual honey at the very bottom. And I feel like that I can pour out into a container and it won't, be a pain. But trying to get out all this honey in one fell swoop was going to be a challenge. Or, like I said, a ladle and a funnel would have just been a mess. All right, well, I shut the camera off there for a minute because it's going to take a little bit, looks like, to fill up each jar. And I'm sure you didn't want to just stare at that. So we're still in the first jar. And we're about to close this and see if it works. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping. All right. It still has that little residual. See how long that takes. I mean, I guess I could wipe that up. I'm just kind of hoping it'll stop on its own. And I did loosen that, so well, it doesn't look like it really tightens much more. All right, we're just gonna do that and see if more comes out. Nope, that seems to do the trick. So it looks like I'll get to lick my finger every time I do a jar. Since it's my honey, that's okay. All right, I'm gonna finish up the rest of these jars and let you know if it's really, gonna work out well as I keep going. One jar down. Okay, everyone, as you can see, we're just about done. I have gotten a lot of honey in these jars with such minimal mess. It has been wonderful. It's really just been me swiping up that last bit of honey, closing it up, and moving on to the next jar. It's been really nice. And just kind of to show you the whole unit, like I said, it's a 6-gallon bucket. I have a little bit of honey left over in these, which I will kind of prop up and get in here into this bigger bucket to finish off filling up any jars. But what I did want to show you that was a little bit problematic, but I realized it was a bit of a user error, and I've figured out how to do it, is my nut, sorry, I got a little close there, guys. My nut right here, I didn't loosen it hardly at all when we first started because I thought I shouldn't. But then, and it's hard to see, can you see that O-ring or gasket? Not sure what you want to call that. My husband can correct me later. It started when I was tightening it and the residual honey was coming out. It was pushing it and stretching it and pushing it out. And so I found if I just loosened up this nut a little bit and give it a little bit of play, then it, closed and opened just fine. And I just pushed that back into the slot. I actually had to tip the bucket back and reset it up. But it seems to be working just fine since I made that little bit of a change. So is this worth $26 to me? Let me turn the camera around and I'll let you know. All right, so do I think this is worth 26 bucks? The answer is absolutely. I will basically be using this once a year when I buy my bulk honey to put into my containers and then use. I love this unit. After I kind of adjusted what I showed you just a moment ago, and it worked beautiful before that, but I was messing it up and I was stretching out that ring. So, and thankfully I paid attention to that right off and stopped doing that, and it has been working beautifully ever since. It was so nice to get this done this way. The other thing is that I've literally been putting this job off for months. I bought this honey last summer. I think I bought it in like May and April. I'd have to look back on when I purchased it, but it's February of 2022 right now. So I was dreading this job because of not having a good way to dispense it into smaller containers. I love this. This is wonderful, and I will absolutely use it again. I bought this directly from the company. Let's see, plastic pail with Honeygate. Glory Bee. I'll flash up a picture of that here in a minute. Glory Bee was the name of the company. I bought it directly from them. I don't know if there's better outlets or not, but if you need something like this, check it out. Now, like I said, I wouldn't use this as something I would just keep my things in all the time if I were using it every day. I do feel the wear and tear on it would be a bit of a pain, and maybe it would probably not last up forever. But using it the way I am, I think is wonderful. The reason I am putting it in the quart jars is that it is an easier way for my children to use it when they absolutely love peanut butter and honey sandwiches or whatever else I need it for. It's also exactly 3 pounds when it's put in a quart jar at the 1-inch mark. And 3 pounds is how much I need for my small batch mead making as I plan to get back into that. So, all right. If you need one of these, I encourage you to get it. Hope you guys are doing great. You're continuing to stock your pantry. You're living frugally, and that we are an encouragement to you guys today. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.